Hey everybody, Happy New Year. This is Jennifer. I'm coming to you with another sales update video. Before I get started, I just wanted to say I had a lot of people write and say, what does it take to become a full-time reseller? And I just want to say, to become a full-time reseller on eBay alone, I would just be very, very careful. I was a full-time reseller. I am not now. And I just want to make that really clear. I have a job, and there is a very specific reason I have a job. I do want to build this, but I want to build it carefully, and I want to build it slowly. And I don't want money pressuring me into making wrong decisions in my business. So I actually got a job to take the pressure off a little bit. Do I want to become a full-time reseller? That would be great. But it's not going to create my happiness. You know what I mean? If it happens, that's great. And if it doesn't, that's fine as well. I'm not overly concerned about that. But I am concerned about making this a success. I want it to be successful, whether I quit my other job or whether I do not quit my other job. And, if you want to know when you should become a full-time reseller, and I would say, when it is, when you get up and you get ready to go to work and you realize going to work, you are losing money. I would say that is when you quit your job, meaning that you are making less money at work than you are making as a reseller. And the fact that you have to take the time to go to work, you are losing money. That is probably the time to quit and start selling full time. But I do recommend that you sell on different platforms. Like, do not just sell on eBay alone, because that is not your business. It's eBay's business, and anything can happen. You know what I mean? Anything could happen anytime, where maybe you'd get cut off. And I'll give you a little example of that. In I think it was like 2008 and 2009. I might be wrong about the date, but I'm pretty sure it was around then. eBay was making massive changes, jumps in their fees, and they were allowing buyers not to leave you feedback any longer. And there was just all these massive changes going on. Every time you turned around, there was something happening that was a pretty, disheartening change for the seller. And one of those changes was the duplicate listings. And at the time, I was selling multiples of one item. And you could sell multiples, but it had to be in one auction. So what I did was, I was using a MarketWorks program that I do not use any longer, and they had made it so they will catch any duplicate listings. Like, it was supposed to be that could not happen with their program, that they would catch it and they would stop it. Well, like many programs, it didn't always work. So I had a duplicate listing, and they warned me. But remember, like, if you're not making enough sales, I forgot what it is, your record stays open for a year. It's not just every quarter. If you make a lot of sales every quarter, it starts anew. But if you don't make enough, it stays on your record for 12 months. So 6 months later, so I had a duplicate listing, and 6 months later, there was another one. And they threw me off. They just ended my auction. So that was it for 2 weeks. Now, if I was living off of eBay, that would be devastating, just cutting off my income for 2 weeks. So, they haven't made changes like that recently. But, once you've lived through that, you become a little bit more cautious and just like jumping in head first. So what I am doing right now is I did back off of eBay slightly, not because I don't love eBay. I do. I make a lot of money on eBay. But I moved over to Etsy to pay attention to Etsy for a little while, and this is why I have the other job. I don't want to just throw things on Etsy and not learn about it. I want to take the time to learn and read, and that takes time. And the time I'm learning, I'm not listing, which I make less money, but it's okay because I have the job and I'm allowed to do that. So now I can build up my knowledge about Etsy. I'm going to build it up about eBay. Once I learn and Etsy grows, I'm bring eBay up with it, and now I'm going to have 2 platforms I'm selling on. And then once I'm comfortable with these 2, I'm going to move on to a third. So then if I did want to quit my job, if one of those things goes down, I have 2 other things to back it up. Does that make sense? So for everyone who had a question about that, this is my philosophy. It might not be yours. It might not work for you at all, but this is how I think. This is what You know, for me, this is what is safe. This is what I want to do, and this is what I'm comfortable with. You know, and I also have experience kind of jumping in headfirst into eBay and kind of years down the road, very successful for many years, but years down the road, it did kind of bite me in the ass. So just, you know, just be careful. Just be aware of what you're doing. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get started. Let me go back to this one. Okay, the first item I have is a Liz Baker Essentials Black Blazer. I paid $1 for this, and it's sold for $22.49. And the next thing is a Banana Republic sweater. I paid $1 for this at the Salvation Army, and I took a best offer of $15, and it was pretty light, so it only shipped first class mail, so that was pretty good. Okay, this was great. This is a Fry leather shoulder bag. Let me show you. I picked this up at a church sale for $5, and it did sell for $79.99 in free ship. So if you see this, definitely pick it up. And it was really funny because when I saw it, I was like, yay, you know, and I brought it up to pay for it. And the woman's like, wow, it's marked $5. Why is it so much? And she was trying to get it like to be less. And I'm like, you know what, that's okay. I was like, I'll pay the $5, that's fine. Because they're used to the purses only being like $1 or $2 there. But yeah, if you see this, definitely pick it up. They're like $80 to $100. Okay, this is a women's Adidas leather tennis shoe, tennis sneakers, and this cost $6, and I sold it for $29.99. Okay, this was great. This was at a 50-cent sale at Goodwill, and I saw it there all week prior to picking it up on the sale day. And normally I would have picked it up, but it had stains. They were light stains, but I wasn't sure if I could get them out. And luckily, everyone else saw the stains and they left them there and didn't touch them. And once it was the 50-cent sale, I picked them up and those stains came right out. So that was excellent. So I paid 50 cents and they sold for $30. Okay, this is a pair of LL Bean women's flannel blue jeans. I picked them up for $5. Now, I meant to sell these for $19.99 plus shipping, and I forgot to change the free shipping. So these sold, I think, in a half hour for $19.99. So you can pay $5 for them. They will sell between like $25 and $30 normally. Okay, this is a pair of Gloria Vanderbilt Shannon Capris. I paid 50 cents for them at Goodwill, and they sold for 20, and they were brand new. The used would probably sell about 15. Okay, this is a vintage Lorna, yeah, wool coat. It was like full length chevron herringbone style, and I paid $1 for this at the Goodwill, and it sold for $35 free shipping. Okay, this is Peter Millar Summer Comfort men's polo golf shirt, and I paid full price, which was $4 at the Salvation Army, and it sold for $25. And it sold pretty quick. These shirts sell fairly well. The Peter Millar. Let me just show. Do I have a picture of the tag? Yeah. Okay. There you go. Okay, this is a pretty funky color, Pro-Keds, a lime green. And I paid $6 for this at the Goodwill, and they sold for $42. Okay, this is Clark's, and if you watch my videos, Clark's comes up a lot. These are Clark's Bendables, just a pair of clogs. I paid $5 for them, and I took a best offer of $25.49 free ship. Okay, this is a men's LL Bean sweater. It was 85% wool. I paid $1 for this at the Salvation Army, and it sold for $22.99. Okay, these were great. If you see Cole Haan, definitely pick those up. This is a pair of boat shoes. I paid $7 for these at the Salvation Army, and they sold for $40. All right, This is a pair of Eddie Bauer Rustin Fit wool pants. Were they new? Yep, they were new. They were new, and I had them forever. I was really surprised because I just had them out for $20, brand new wool pants. They just did not sell. I had them, I don't know, 7 or 8 months. So when somebody offered me $13.99, I only paid $1 for them. I took it. Okay, this is a Christmas ski sweater, extra large from Northern Isles, but it's not the name. It was the design. I picked it up for $1, and it sold free ship for $22.39. Okay, this was just a pair of vintage denim jean overalls. I pick up overalls if they're under $5. I always pick them up. They usually always sell. This was really small. This was a small, but it was a very small. So I think it would have sold a little quicker if it wasn't so tiny. I paid $1 for this at the Salvation Army, and it sold for $25. This is a Laureate Lean cardigan sweater. I paid 50 cents for this at Goodwill, and it sold for $13.59. And the last eBay item I have is a pair of Skechers Shape Up sneakers. If you see these and they're clean, I really do not pick up anything that's kind of scuffed up anymore. It doesn't sell that well. You know, it takes bad pictures and it takes you forever to clean them. But these were really nice, very, very clean. And I paid $9 for them, and they sold for a grand total of $44.79. Okay, I'm going to move on to Etsy. Okay, this was a little 3-piece brass enamel tile and salt and pepper shaker. It was on a tray. It was really cute. I paid $1 for this, and it sold for $11.99 plus $3.40 shipping. This was a big picture. Okay, right there. It's a red resin koi statue. And I picked this up at a church sale for $2, and it sold for $12.99 plus $8 shipping. And this is a pair of vintage Coca-Cola mugs. You gotta be careful. Some of the mugs don't have that much value. If they're more recent, they're not gonna sell as well. So you may want to look them up. Like if you see a Coca-Cola mug, definitely look it up. It's not all of them that sell. Both of them were $2, and they sold for $19.99. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. $12.99 plus $11.35 shipping. And this was really cool. It was a corkscrew, a brass corkscrew. And if you see, I put steampunk, gears, mid-century, all those keywords in there. Use steampunk. Steampunk is that's a great keyword. If you see anything that has like the gear look to it, you definitely want to put that into the title. That's going to get you a lot of views. And I paid $2 for this at the Salvation Army, and it sold for $19.99 plus $4.16 shipping. Okay, this is a vintage brooch. It's from the 60s. Now, where did I get this? Oh, yeah, I got this at, it was at Goodwill. Okay, it was half off. I got this at Goodwill for $1, and I sold it for $5.99 plus $2.83 shipping. Okay, this was awesome. This was another church sale, and there was nothing there. It was unbelievable. I went and I wound up getting 2 things. One were these little cast iron pencil sharpeners, and a couple of those sold. They'll probably be in later videos. And there was this umbrella, and the umbrella was just like hanging on the wall in the back. I was even wondering if it was part of the sale. So I picked it up and I brought it to the front, and you can tell it's vintage. It's got the lucite handle and this loop. It was really cool. So I had no idea what the value was, but it was only $1, so you know, I just brought it home, and I was able to get $29.99 plus $12.40 shipping. So this was great. So as you can see, these Etsy sales are in the same time frame as all these eBay sales I showed you. So what would you say that is? Like a quarter? A quarter of the sales were Etsy. So you definitely want to, if you haven't already, look into Etsy, because things that sell on Etsy don't necessarily sell that well on eBay. So it really works nicely with eBay. And I know several times I've gone to Goodwill or Salvation Army and I can't find any clothes. I can't find anything for eBay, and then I find all this great stuff for Etsy. So, you definitely, if you haven't been over there, you may want to take a look at it. Okay, that's all I have for today. Again, Happy New Year, and I will see you next time.